Hi, so today I have a story time, and I am going to be talking about how Santa Muerte took me under her wing and adopted me and basically became my mom. So, this story is like really personal, and everybody's experience with her is different. But my first encounter with La Santa Muerte was with La Negra, and I was really, really young, and it wasn't until I got older where I started hearing that even people who were adults at that point never even encountered La Negra, because when you work with her, it's a lot more serious. And I'm still learning, of course. But I've known she's been around me since I was a kid. And how I first met her, I call her mom. And I don't have a relationship with my birth mother. So when I'm telling this story, mom is Santa Muerte and mother is my birth mom. And it's not to disrespect or discredit mother and what I've been through with her, but I just don't connect with her in that way anymore, and I don't talk to her. She's not in my life. And I wish her the best, and I got love for her, but this is my story. So, mother used to use me as a punching bag when I was a kid. And, when we were all kids, we all have done bad things and whatever. That's what kids do, or just being kids. But I figured that because she had me at such a young age and what she's been through in her life, she had a lot of unresolved anger, and I was just an easy target for her. And it didn't help that, you know, my father was also not in my life and he was not with her, so he gave her no support. So she had to do it herself, which I give her credit. That's not easy. But I was abused, and that was my first encounter with Santa Muerte, where one night she was, wailing on me pretty bad. And I'm trying to clean up my language for TikTok because you have to be careful with what words you use here. But I've encountered her when I was like really young, like 5 or 6. And one night we were actually at a friend of my mother's, and I guess she was beating on me really bad. And I used to scream and cry. And the thing was, the adults around that never did anything because I wasn't their kid. I was hers. So no one ever came to my rescue. And it wasn't until like really young where I felt like I wasn't supposed to be here on earth anymore. And I guess like she was beating me and I kept screaming and crying. And that's when I met Santa Muerte. Like, she first came to me and she was dressed in black. And all I remember was her picking me up, picking my soul up from my body. Like, she separated my soul from my body while whatever was going on to me physically. And she wrapped me in her cloak and she cuddled with me and she was like, "Mija, don't look." And I knew she spoke Spanish. I don't speak Spanish, but I always understood what she said and what she meant. And she came to me, like I knew I was under her wing and I had her protection. And that was the first time I ever met her. And it wasn't until I got older where I started hearing her name and figuring out who she was. But all I know was that she was always around me and I had her protection. So that was a story time I wanted to share with you for the first time I ever met Santa Muerte. And I think it was because there's a lot of those times maybe that I didn't realize that I was actually close to the other side. And she prevented that because it wasn't my time. So I'm grateful for her, and I see her as mom now. And like, when it comes down to mother, like I said, I wish her the best. I hope she's doing good. I just don't have that connection with her, so I don't get that warm and fuzzy feeling. But whenever I hear mom and I think of Santa Muerte, my heart flutters and I'm like, "Mom," Even that last one, I was about to start crying. I was like, whoa. All right. That's the story I wanted to share with you. She placed it on my heart to share it with you guys. I've been wanting to do so for a while, but I guess I was holding myself back in that regard. So today's the day, and I feel like there's going to be more stories that are going to come that I have experienced. And when it's time, I will share them with you guys. All right. Peace, love, and light. Till next time. Bye.